The Frolic Meal Show! Frolic and his guests discuss how to make a real-life living in Second Life so you too can find out how top content creators and virtual artists ended up on top of their game. And now, put your hands together for Frolic! Oh, baby. Mills!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Frolic Meal Show. Today we have a fantastic group of fine ladies. MammaP Beerbaum, the woman who has been behind Relay for Life for quite some years as event chair for the past 2, I believe. And we also have Harper Beresford, and she is big news right now. Of course, she is the chair for Fashion for Life, which is going right now very strong on 10 Sims, I believe. Harper, welcome, my darling.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Harper, the first question I am dying to ask you is, from my own experience, I know what it takes to do a big show, a big concentration of little things to put together a huge event like Fashion for Life. But I cannot even begin to imagine what goes when you have 10 Sims and you need to coordinate so many designers and builders and, all of that. Can you tell me about your nightmares and frustrations and accomplishments and happiness? Because I know all of these things bring about a lot of emotions. Can you tell us more about this?
Well, it is pretty. There have been days when I've been very frustrated and concerned about things going on. I would say for the most part I'm lucky because everybody who's contributing understands how much goes into this. So they're very careful about their concerns and everything else. I would say I don't have as much drama as probably a lot of other people because everybody kind of controls themselves, and so that's very lucky. Everybody understands that we're all doing this for a joint purpose, and that is to benefit Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. And everybody who participates on a 100% volunteer basis, and I'm very strict about that, so that all the entertainment, all their tips go to RFL. All the builders do things for free. If they have a store, they have to pay the donation fee to participate. There's no deals cut. Nobody's given extra anything for nothing because really it's about the charity. And I don't make a single penny off this either. So with that in mind, everybody is pretty cool about things. However, getting 10 builders to build 10 different Sims and all agree on what's appropriate and what should be done is a challenge. Dealing with the technological issues of Second Life has just been horrific because it seems no cards don't go through to people anymore. IMs don't go through to people anymore. It's very frustrating. But for the most part, people have been patient and wonderful and overwhelmingly generous, and to the point of making me cry at their generosity. In fact, Dream Seeker Estates underwrote all 10 of our Sims, and when they offered to do that, and they offered to do that without being asked, I literally did cry. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Seepster is a good friend, and he told me about that, and I was really proud of him. Great guy and fantastic donation for Relay for Life. I was very happy to hear that. Harper, what has been the most challenging out of all of this? Because when you have 10 builders going around doing 10 different things, but there's also the concentration of how did we get all the designers? How do you reach to them? Do you make a huge list? Do you go around? How do you do it? I just want to know what it really took, because I'm sure, I mean, I have a lot of designers on my friends list, that's for sure, but you know, when you look at the overwhelming list of what Fashion for Life is, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people to get involved, absolutely. And what we do is in early January, an invitation was sent out to over 650 designers to ask for their participation.
How many do we have right now?
We have over 200 in Fashion for Life. Wow. And so they were sent invitations, and then word of mouth goes out. When the invitations were sent out, what was really crazy is that we typically asked for 9 sim sponsors. The way it was structured is that we would have a sponsor for every sim. And I had 14 respond. 12 responded immediately, like to the point where I couldn't say who came first, really. And so I asked their cooperation in allowing them all 12 to sponsor the 9 sims. And so that is why when you land on the center sim, there are 4 sponsor stores with 4 names at the top. And those 4 graciously and generously allowed to share sponsorship of that sim. And so we built the sim specifically for them. Those stores are gateways to the other time-related sims. There's a past, a present, a future, and a timeless. And Sierra Anatine did an incredible job of kind of reflecting where you're going Sierra? As you walk into those sims. So
Anatine Sierra? Is that
Sierra Anatine, exactly.
There you go. Okay.
Sierra Anatine is the person who built it. And she did an amazing job of that, and I kind of threw it at her when we were in our builders meeting. I apologize. Wasn't she nominated to be a Best of Second Life builder?
I believe so, yes. I believe so. Yeah.
She's an incredible builder and a great person, and she did our center sim last year and came back for more punishment this year. So when we did the sims, I had one builder who had told my partner that she wouldn't be able to do the build, and my partner, St. John Summers, was unable to participate this year due to personal reasons. And so I didn't get that message. And then also I had to last minute find a builder for one of my other sims, and some people graciously stepped in. So eventually it all came together, but it was definitely a last minute sort of thing.
Now, Harper, when you contact designers, what is it that it's offered to them? I mean, yes, they buy a space and they put on their clothes. Now, do they get a revenue from the sales, but they need to have one item that is specifically only for Relay for Life? Is that how it works? I'm not really sure.
We have sponsorship levels. So the sim sponsors pay an X amount of money, and for that we put their logos on. We put their name on the sim. We do great promotion for them. We put them on the front of our web page on the right side, so they're right at the top, and they get the privilege of almost having a customized store made for them. We make the store for them, but then we ask them how they like it when they come in, and overwhelmingly they've been more than pleased. I mean, very few alterations to the stores because they're just so blown away. Then we have another sponsorship which is lower, which is called an advertising sponsorship, where they get a store and then they get their logo on every single sim, and they get on the front of our webpage. And then finally, when you're a store sponsor, you get the store, you get 150 prims to put your own items in for sale, and then you also have to offer 4 items for donation or 4 items and a gotcha for donation, with all proceeds going to the Relay for Life. And the items don't have to be exclusive or new, but our designers have been incredibly generous in offering exclusive items and new items that they may sell in their stores later, but they put them out there now for first proceeds to go to Relay for Life.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, Harper, and I'm trying to remember what Fashion for Life did last month. I think it was something in the millions of lindens, but I can't remember. Can you remind me of that?
Well, with all the sponsorships, and and donations that we received before we opened Fashion for Life, we had 1,978,000 lindens.
Wow. What are your expectations this year, darling?
I hope to absolutely go past 5 million linden. If we can reach 5.5 to 6, I'd be thrilled.
Sounds great, Harper. I mean, that is a great number. All right, and here joining us, thank you, Harper, so much. And I'm going to be talking to Mama, and if there's something you can think of that you would like to share also, make sure to jump in. MammaP Beerbaum, the absolute fabulous event chair of Relay for Life 2012. Welcome, my darling.
Hello.
Mama, it's always such a pleasure to have you speaking with me. I've been your fan for many years, and I've been with Relay for Life for, 4 years, doing all kinds of stuff to fight cancer. However, the bigger person in this game, and how beautiful you conduct this thing, it just thrills me, and I want to hear from you. What do you want to do this year? What is going on?
Thank you, Frolic. We kicked off yesterday.
Yes.
And we will run Relay through mid-July. So we're just in the early stages, but what I'm hoping for this year, as always, is bigger, better, more teams, more people participating, more awareness on the grid. We're focusing this year on reaching out to communities in Second Life that haven't relayed with us before, trying to reach every corner of the grid. And we're especially working very, very, very hard to do that this year. Last year we started on that endeavor. We were able to bring in a few new communities, but this year we're going gung-ho. We have gotten so big, and we do reach quite a few people in Second Life, but we know that in order to keep growing, in order to keep getting bigger, we're going to have to start reaching out more. And so our focus for this year is to reach out, bring in new relayers, but to absolutely still nurture and embrace those that have relayed with us for a very long time. We do have a core of people who have relayed the entire 7 years that Relay's been in Second Life, and I think, Frolic, you are one of those that has been with us since the beginning, and I thank you so much for that.
7 years ago, but I've been with you since the beginning of my Second Life, which is four years.
Yeah, you've and been supportive from day one, and there are lots and lots of Frolics that relay with us. So mainly to reach out to new communities this year and bring them in to try and help our teams realize their goals a little bit more this year. We have a lot of them that join us in the beginning and then run into some frustration along the way. So we're focusing on what we can do with our teams to help them, because they really, really are at the core of what we do. We have some, amazing big events and big things that help us, like Harper and Fashion for Life and other things that go on during the year. But at the core is our teams, and so that's another goal this year. Focus on helping them to realize, because they all have big goals when they start, and we want to help them to realize those.
Mama, so talk to me numbers. How many teams did we have last year? How many teams are we having this year?
Well, last year, when we finished Relay in July, we had 140 teams. And, I wrote this all down on notes, and now I have to find them, right? When we kicked Relay off last year, I think this is a number that'll give you a little perspective. When we kicked off Relay last year, we had 75 teams. Okay. Yesterday, when we kicked off Relay, we had 104 teams.
Awesome.
So we're expecting, there's a little pool going on around the water cooler about how many teams we're going to end up with this year, but we're centering in on the number 160, 170 is what our expectation is.
Awesome. So because there are a lot of people like me who have not gotten around to it. I have not created my team yet, and I apologize for that.
On it.
Crazy. Yes, but I'm going to get on it today.
Good.
Yeah, and anybody listening, the guys here live with us, or the guys listening through MetaverseTV.com live, please, if you feel like you have a community that would like to get together and do some fun events to raise money for Relay for Life, go ahead. Where can they go, Mama? What is the website to create a team, you know? Can you tell us here live?
www.relayforlife.org/secondlife. And when you get to the homepage, there's a big blue button that says register your team in Second Life. And everything is done on the web. So you would be taken to a page and register there, and you would be contacted within the next 24 hours, and you would be on your way.
Great. And I want to tell these people something. Mama, I know that a lot of my friends go, oh, God, Frolic, I don't want to do a group because it's like, how am I going to get designers to do this? Or how am I going to... Listen, guys, you don't need to have, 3 million designers, be friends with them or this. Some people... And don't worry about the amount of money that you're going to get or that you feel you're going to get, because you know what? Anything that you do, I mean, even if it's a bingo, a potluck, get together and somebody sings, a little song on karaoke and they get donations from, it's like whatever, you guys. There's so many fun things, a kissing booth, don't get overwhelmed by the higher picture of Relay for Life. Do what you can. Have fun. Yes, Harper, please.
Let me break in a second. Let me explain to you. What basically I have with over 200 designers is 200 little teams. And I just happen to put them all in the same sim. And the reason we want to kick off so big is to give a momentum to Relay for Life, to inspire people to come back again and again and give money to Relay for Life. What happens is we get thousands of avatars coming on and spending maybe 200 or 300 Linden or 1,000 or... Well, some spend a lot more than that, excuse me. But the point is that... 25,000 Linden easily. Yes. But the point is, we want to give this a big kickoff so that everybody's inspired to do something for Relay for Life. Right. And also so that they can see in a big way how much we care about our fellow residents. And I keep telling our designers this isn't just about money. It's also about telling our fellow residents who've been touched by cancer that we care. We care about what's going on, and we know that sometimes we feel helpless about what has happened. If you had somebody in your life who was hurt by cancer, or if you yourself had something, the feeling of helplessness is pretty tangible. And we want to feel like we can do something, and this is our way of doing something. So even if you show up, you're doing something. But if you hear a great performance and you realize that somebody just did that for free and did it because they wanted to give these funds to Relay for Life, understand that's coming out of their own pocket. Give them a big tip. Don't give them 50 Linden. Give them 5,000 Linden and say, I honor this thing that you've done for Relay for Life. I'm going to give you some money to give to RFL.
Right. Yep. Right. Yeah, beautiful, Harper. Thank you.
Thank you, Harper.
Yeah, Mama, by the way, I know last year we had a record-breaking relay.
Did.
You scared this year of what's going to happen, or are you absolutely positive that we're going to break it again? Tell me.
I am absolutely positive we're going to break it again. And I can say that with the utmost confidence. The last 2 months leading into Relay have been different than any other previous pre-Relay feelings. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to verbalize it, but it was the excitement, the anticipation, the let's get it started attitude. We always have this. But this year, I just don't know what it was. I just think so many things are coming together at the same time. As I said last year, we realized that we needed to reach out beyond our core group of relayers. With that being the focus again this year, I am blown away on a daily basis about how when we reach out and when we try and get to folks on the grid that don't know about Relay, that don't know we're here. I mean, I find that hard to believe, but there are lots and lots of residents out there that, when we finally get to them, oh, wow, I've been looking for something like this since I've been in Second Life. And, as long as we keep expanding and reaching out, I think there is no limit to what we can do. I truly believe that, the $375,000 that we raised last year, was the beginning of lots and lots of big years down the road. I mean, there is no end to the generosity of the folks that come into Second Life. There is, it's an unbelievable experience for me. As Harper started to say, and I just want to emphasize this, and Frolic, you talked about it, every linden counts. We say that over and over again, and we mean it from the bottom of our heart. And if you don't have lindens to give, bringing your spirit to what we do counts just as much. It takes all of that to make it work, to raise that kind of money. Even if you yourself don't have the money or you're a small team working hard, everybody counts. Everybody brings something. And I do believe that every single linden counts. And, that's what we believe in. That's how we operate. And I just think we're in for another record-breaking year.
Well, that sounds awesome to me. And by the way, I want to send a little hello to Sean Devon, who has just made a comment saying, "Wow, the production quality of the live show is awesome. The way Frolic says, 'Mama' tickles me." Woohoo! Well, Sean, this one is just for you, mamita. Mamita.
You guys need to know, and you guys need to know that every chance I get to talk to Frolic in voice, I take. Because I love the way he says it too.
All right, Mama, I want to ask you something that, because I'm very familiar with Relay for Life and how it works and all of that, but I don't know what happens after Relay for Life. Like, for example, last year, I know that Relay for Life and Second Life surpassed $1 million. I mean, way over, like $1,200,000. I don't know what it is. Yep. And then when you go to Relay for Life, to the American Cancer Society, and you go, here is the money from Second Life, what happens? I don't know this part of the story, and I would love for you to tell us.
Well, I don't know how much time we have. I talked a little bit yesterday at Kickoff about the history of Relay in Second Life, and took everybody on a journey back to 2004 and how this all happened and how our partnership with the American Cancer Society started and where we've come in that journey with the American Cancer Society. And I don't think it's any surprise to any of you that in the beginning, when Jade Lilly, who actually started Relay for Life and Second Life, went to the American Cancer Society and said, "Hey, we have this online virtual community. We want to raise funds in Second Life, and we want you to join us." And I don't know that they laughed her off the phone or whatever, but at that time, they did not come along willingly. So I think in the beginning it was, well, I'm going to do this anyway. Then I just wanted you to come along and join us on the journey. And the American Cancer Society said, "Okay, we're going to send somebody in to keep an eye on what you're doing." Well, over the years, not only do they believe in what we're doing and believe in us, but they use us as, they brag about us all the time. They talk about us at all of their conventions and all of their whatever. And I need to tell you this staggering number. There are over 6,000 relays held around the world. The Relay and Second Life, and they treat us like a relay, like a town relay. So if there's a relay in your town, the Relay and Second Life is treated by the American Cancer Society as one of those relays. On that list of over 6,000 relays around the world, last year we came in at number 51. Is that amazing? As far as funds raised and participation and whatever. And then this year, our prediction is that we probably will be in the top 5. So they do know that we're here. They do appreciate everything that we do. When we end Relay, they do hold a national convention of with representative fundraisers from around the world, and we are always invited from Second Life. We're always included in that, and so we're able to actually mingle with them in real life, and they get to meet the people behind the people who are behind the avatars that run Relay and Second Life. So they are with us 100%. We have a staff partner assigned to us as part of his regular American Cancer Society responsibilities, and he works hand in hand with us throughout the season and year-round. So, we've come a long way from that first visit to the American Cancer Society in 2004 to where we are today and how we work with them and partner with them.
That's awesome, Mama. And let me ask you another thing. What happens when, I mean, do you know what happens when with all of the money that is collected from all of the teams? Do they ever tell you we've made a progress? See, because one of the things that I always find that, you know, perhaps it's missing, it's the advancements that were that have been had thanks to the donations of all these amazing people.
Right.
Have they said, okay, well, this year, thanks to this, we were able to come up with this new medicine? I mean, I don't know what happens, Mama. Can you tell us like a success story that has actually is feasible and something that we can look at in the physical world and as to what is happening with cancer victims? Yeah.
Boy, you got me. You put me on a spot here.
Well, you know, it's just nice to know what's happening, you know.
Yes,
I can break in and tell you a couple success stories, if
Thank you,
that's
Harper.
all right.
You can, and I'll find the webpage while you do that.
There's a couple stories I can tell you. First of all, one of my designers who participated told me that when his girlfriend had been diagnosed with cancer, she had financial trouble and the American Cancer Society helped her. So that was just one individual, just one small person that they helped out. I can tell you another story. One of our designers last year was Japanese, and her father lived in the area where the tsunami had hit. And she had persisted and participated in Fashion for Life, but she had told me that her father was unable to get the gasoline for his car so he could get to the hospital for his treatments. And so I went crying to Jeff and said, what can we do about this? Jeff is the American Cancer Society liaison in Second Life. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, we have some, associations in Japan. I'll contact them. And he came back to me and he said, what's her email address? And I gave it to him, and they contacted her to help her out. So those are tiny stories. But I have gone on their website, and if you start poking around on their website, which is cancer.org, you can see very clearly where they have granted money, for instance, for research. I just looked at my own state, and I could see doctors in the medical college in my city who are doing research projects, what the research projects are, what their application was about, and how much money they were granted this year for that particular project. If you spend some time on that website, you certainly can see American Cancer Society has a broad reach. Everything relating to cancer, from prevention to political advocacy to granting research monies to giving financial assistance. They do it all.
Fabulous. Thank you, Harper. Yeah, because for me, all of these questions, Mama, it goes, to those people in particular who don't really know what happens. Why should I get excited about something that I will never see? You know what I mean? It's like every linden that you give out goes somewhere. It's like right now, there is a beautiful designer here in Second Life who is going through a very hard time with cancer, and I'm telling you, this year I don't have permission quite yet to say it out loud, but it's like it touches me so much, and I'm thinking of ways that we can all come together and help, and it's just a very sensitive subject for me. My grandmother had it, and I lost her to that, and well, that, Mama, I've always told you, and that woman 6 minutes before she died, she I was with her, and I said, how are you feeling? And she goes, I think I'm gonna get better. I feel better. And and then 6 minutes later she passed away, and I was like surprised that even at the very last minute of her life she was still fighting, and that spirit for me is what Relay for Life is, and Mama, you're a great example of that. We don't have a lot more time, but I want to just say something, Mama. What you have done, what you have created, it's beyond words. To see. And we see this every day where, designers come to me and go, Frolic, wow, the economy is not doing that great. Right. It's not, I'm not selling as much as I used to 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't know what to do in this. And yet, Relay for Life keeps getting bigger. People are willing to go that extra effort, even though in times of crisis and an economy, they reach out and they help. And that's the most beautiful thing, Mama. And honey, I am afraid it's you have a lot to do with that.
Thanks, Frolic. Thank you so much. It comes from my heart, and you know that. You know my story. You know why I do it, and this is how so many of the residents of Second Life, so many of our volunteers, so many that relay with us, this is here in Second Life is the way they're able to fight back against this horrible disease that's affected them in one way or another.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Harper, very much. People get excited. Relay for Life is on. You don't need a huge group. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of friends. Do whatever you can. Have fun and let's contribute. Relay for Life is officially here, and we're on for the biggest year ever. Thank you, and we'll be right back with Miss Virtual World, Anna Saphire. What has she done in the past 3 months? How is her life different? What is she going to do this year? We'll find out just after the break. And welcome back to the Frolic Wheel Show. Right now we have Anna Saphire. Miss Virtual World 2012 is here with us. And this is a woman of amazing impact. If you've ever met Anna Saphire, you know that this woman has created a little bit of a buzz around the grid. And when I say little, I mean that in the most sarcastic way possible. When this woman blogs, everybody looks, people shop. She is a tour de force all on her own. Anna, welcome, darling.
Thank you, Frolic.
Anita, how are you? Tell me. A lot of people ask me what it's like to be Miss Virtual World, and I have no clue what it's like to be Miss Virtual World because I've never been Miss Virtual World. Tell me, I know you were a consummate model when you entered Miss Virtual World, or at least you got really, really big during that time, and I just wonder, how is your life different? What happens when, you're wearing that tag over your head and you go to a shop, I don't know. Is there anything you can tell us about that? So that we all know what it is like to be Miss Virtual World? Including myself.
That's a good question because, it's a shock. The first thing that you feel is a big shock. And I didn't expect to win, so my first days have been like that, oh my god, is it real? Is it me, really?
But are you being sincere, Anna, about this? Because I've heard, I listen to a lot of stuff that people publish all over the place about who's going to win or who might win, and Anna and Risa and perhaps Rusalka, and there were some names that were thrown out there all the time as the possible winners, and which actually was a surprise for me too, because usually none of the quote-unquote favorites are usually the winners of Miss Virtual World, but this year they got it right. Are you sure you weren't expecting this, or were you like, oh God, I know I'm one of the favorites, am I going to win or not? Tell me for real.
No, exactly because of that, because of what you said, that usually favorites didn't win. So I expected a new model to win, and not me. I'm not an old model, but not so new, so I expected a new girl, really.
Oh, I see. I was surprised too. But then again, I think it's a good example of, because it's not about crowning a new model versus an old model. That's not what Miss Virtual World is about. It's about crowning that woman who, in 3 months, convinces the judges that she is the wow factor, the complete package. And it doesn't matter, whether it's new or old. It's just who does it. And one of the things that I believe. Happens is that the newer ones, they try harder. You understand?
Yes.
They go after the throat of the favorites and try to become better
I
and
see
better
that
and
now.
better. Yeah, and you see that happening in Miss Virtual all the time, where somebody who was very quiet all of a sudden goes bam, and it's just an incredible impact. And all right, so Anna, I know that on the day you were crowned, you were like, "Oh my God, Frolic! I'm overwhelmed. I have like 300 IMs." But what happens after the first week or the first, 48 hours or whatever? I mean, tell me a little bit more of the feel of Miss Virtual World. Do people come to you for advice? Do they say to you, "Anna, how the hell do you do this? Can you show me? Can you teach me?" What happens in the life of Miss Virtual
Yes,
World?
lots of people ask me for advices and for mentoring. And when I have time, I really want to help you because this is my role. I think this is the sense of being Miss Virtual World. So I try to be here for everyone. And the designer asked me to blog their things more than before. And this is something I really try to do because it's what I love and what I want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, Anna, and I think you hold this so graciously, and just by listening to your voice, you're such a calm person and so well centered, and I love that about you, and I think people appreciate that about you as well. I've always been very proud of all my Miss Virtual Worlds. They're such, because like I've always said, Miss Virtual goes after that real life person. You see that beautiful person behind the keyboards, and I think the judges got it right. And I see Daniel Everhart here, your SL boyfriend. Is he an SL boyfriend or is he also your real life boyfriend?
Only SL for now.
Only SL? Oh. Danielito, don't let her get away. Don't let her get away. All right, Anna, I want to talk to you about something that you've told me the other day, which has been the most fantastic proposition I've ever heard from Miss Virtual World as to what you want to do and how you want to help. And I love the idea because it goes a little more than raising money, but it had a. When I heard you talking about, I loved it because it has a purpose and something that will be there for the person to really change their lives, and of course I'm talking about the education project that you brought up to me. Can you tell us more? What is it that Anna Saphire is going to accomplish in this year?
Yes, well, since my first days, I asked to myself what I could do for myself. What is the meaning of being Miss Virtual World for me? And I came up to this project. I met a girl one day that worked for an Indian organization to help poor children and abused women. And she told me her story, that she adopted children with them, and I visited their site, and I was interested in what they do. They have different projects for these children, and one is especially interesting, I think, because they don't raise funds only for feeding them, but also for sponsoring them in their studies. So you can really change the life of these children, because it's not something they can eat today and they don't have tomorrow.
Right.
But it's something that can really change their lives, because if you sponsor them during all their studies, they can become somebody and maybe change the life of other children or do something different and have a chance. This is
Anna,
what
when
I think.
yeah, and when you said this to me, Anna, I was like, oh my God, can you imagine if we all come together and help you out, Anna? How many students can we graduate? And this is what's so appealing and beautiful of what you're saying to me, because it's not just let's help, let's send some money and God knows what happens here. I was telling Anna we need to get the names of the people who we are going to be sponsoring and getting them through through school to complete graduation. And this is something that, Anna, you can have letters every single year forever. Just so
Yes.
this person graduated, this person finished school, this person is now living a better life, or this is what happened, this is how it changed. And Anna, I'm very interested in joining forces with you and doing whatever I can to help, because when we have that kind of can you imagine if we can graduate, I don't know, 100 students or 200 students, as many, whatever we can, even if it's little, well, we do what we can, right? And but I think this purpose I've never seen anybody do it, and I am all on board, my darling. I think it's beautiful. I think people will jump on board. Like I said, it's not just feed them one day and then God knows what happens. It's not, let's just donate money and who knows where it goes. This is going to have a name behind it and a smile behind it, Anna, and I think it's going to be very beautiful.
Thank you. I really hope we can do something for them and really change their lives.
And when will we be starting this, Anna? I'm excited.
I think in 1 or a couple of months.
Okay.
I'm working on it right now.
Well, you let us know, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to jump on board and help you, Anna, because when you give somebody a future, a life, well, I don't know what gets bigger than that, Anna. I think it's really beautiful. All right, Anita, and in the fashion world, what is going on with you? Are you modeling? Are you how are you keeping yourself busy aside from helping students and helping children? How are you keeping yourself fabulous and fresh and reinventing yourself every single day? What's going on with that?
Yes, this is something I really like to do. So I keep my modeling career, and I love to help designers to show their creations. And this is what I did before Miss Virtual World, and it's something I really want to keep right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, awesome, Anita, and I think everybody is watching, darling. So, no problems there. All right, guys. Well, Anna, is there anything else before I end the show that you would like to say or you would like to comment about? Is there a question that I have not asked you that you wish that I would?
No, I think that we can suggest our public to keep their eyes on us, so they will announce soon our project.
Okay. Well, great, Anita. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us, darling. I wish you all the success. I wish for your year to be absolutely beautiful before we enter the madness of Miss Virtual 2013, which I'm sure you'll enjoy from the backstage now. It's a different flow altogether. And I wish you all the best, Anna.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So thank you all very much. Beautiful talk with Relay for Life Chairman. God, I always say it wrong. Not Chairman of the Board, but Event Chair, and Harper Beresford, Fashion for Life Chair, and now Miss Virtual World. Anna, darling, I think you have a wonderful idea behind you. I think you have all the resources. I think you have the friends, and I think you have a lot of people to help you do whatever you want to do, Anna. And I hope your voice is heard, and I hope it's very successful. Metaverse TV, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity, and goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.